how do you go from feeling meh to feeling motivated? Because this is a struggle that I have come up with all too often in this whole journey with visibility. And I know that it feels as though we really need to be looking outside of ourselves to find that motivation. But what I have found in my own experience is that motivation is something that usually is kind of like a flint, like when you are about to start a fire in your fireplace and you really just need the kindling wood. I kind of find that motivation works a little bit like that for me. So sometimes it can be just as simple as taking the notes app in my phone and sitting down, having breakfast, tea, coffee, whatever, and you're feeling like, oh, this whole day, how am I even going to get through it? I've got this mountain of stuff I have to do. I've got this content I need to create. I need to write these emails. I need to show up on social media. And oh my goodness, the whole thing can just end up feeling so overwhelming. So this is what I do. And this is what has helped is that I make myself time blocks. So, and each time I've done this, it has worked a treat. And the only time when it hasn't worked is when I've fallen off the wagon and I've simply stopped doing it. And so I have to say to myself, okay, well, if I can achieve even two out of the three things that I've put on my list, then that's a win. So, firstly, committing to doing just three things rather than doing more than three or four or five things, for example. Now for you that might be, and if you're a bit of an overachiever, that could be more like four or five things, but for me three feels like a really nice number. So what does that look like for me personally? So I could say between 9:30 and 10:30 I'm going to write three emails. And surprisingly enough, I found that it took me 45 minutes to write three emails, which meant that I actually saved myself 15 minutes. So I felt pretty accomplished about that. And then what happened was I ended up getting derailed because I was watching all of this other content, all of these other emails, social media distractions, and everything. And I ended up going down this rabbit hole of not feeling like I was achieving much. So quite often we feel like we don't have enough time when in fact we're just not very good at managing our time. And I haven't yet fully overcome this, but I can only say that I have managed to sort of almost scaffold it a little bit for myself in the way that I've just described, which is just putting down a bit of a loose system for yourself on how long you're going to achieve something. And then the motivation kicks in once you actually start working on it. And so for me, it was thinking about how do I want to feel right now? I want to feel motivated. So what am I going to do? And I do something that's going to kickstart me into it. So, for example, I could say to myself, you know what? I'm actually going to be getting out of this funky mood right now. I'm going to go and put on some makeup. I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to move my body and I'm going to activate my visibility in doing that. Even if it means that I film a reel and I don't post it. Like today, I filmed a reel and I did not feel like posting it, but it's all complete. And that reel actually talks about the very thing that I'm talking about right now, which is how do you go from feeling meh to feeling motivated? And this is exactly how I've done all of what I've done today is that I've written the emails, I've recorded and finished editing a reel. I have completely fleshed out an entire offer that I have been working on. And so I have actually achieved a lot more than what I have given myself credit for the sheer reason that I have been multitasking. And so this whole multitasking thing creates this loop of thinking that you've done a lot of different things, but you actually haven't achieved a lot. When in fact, if you actually take stock of that and look at your list that you may have made in the morning, you will see that if you have something to benchmark against, it's a lot easier to then firstly get started because you've given yourself a time frame in which to complete something. And secondly, you have done something about if you find yourself in a bit of a slump, to get out of it by doing something that is completely, going to shake you up. And that sometimes can be something as superficial as putting on some makeup. For me, sometimes it's jumping on the spot. I can slap my face, I can jump on the spot, I can literally activate my brain and trick my brain into thinking that I want to be more activated, more uplifted. And so, what I've found about this whole energy thing is that you can have either two states of being. One is the state where you're constantly thinking, constantly in this kind of spiral going down and thinking that nothing you're ever doing is good enough. Or you can actually make an active choice for yourself and go, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to feel? How do I want to feel right now in this very instant? And if you can answer that, it is literally a choice. It's about making a swap from I'm feeling in this way to simply asking yourself that question and simply making that instant shift for yourself by going straight into activation mode, whether it be setting yourself a goal of I'm going to be getting these tasks completed in such and such time, kickstarting that for yourself. And then secondly, if that's not working and if you're needing another injection through the day, then simply doing something that's going to get you out of that funky mode and into the, let's do this mode. So I hope that this has helped you. If this has helped you, then message me on @contenthalo or reply back to my email. I would love to hear from you because I am all about injecting the Vava room in our visibility and would love to hear from you.
Now, after listening to this episode, if you are feeling fired up, then firstly, do me a favor and hit 5 stars on the reviews for this. And then once you've done that, take a screenshot of it, send it to me on @contenthalo on Instagram, and I would love to be able to send you a free gift your way. The other thing is that if you are wanting to find out more about how you can take your visibility to the next level, and if you truly are ready to capture, connect, and convert your perfect audience, then I've got an express 18-minute masterclass that you can watch straight away by going to contenthalo.com/masterclass.